So we saw it all day. If you watched the Nintendo Treehouse, you saw all up and down the entire chat. Drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. Yeah, I get it. Drop the price. This is something that I feel like, Nintendo should do, in a sense. But I mean, how many people are really going to stand on business and not buy these products? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't think anybody's gonna really stand on business and be like, I'm not buying. Now, for me, full disclosure, I am buying the Switch 2 because my son wants the Switch 2 and he's done great in school. And I promised him before all of this happened that I will buy him the Switch 2. He really wants it. And I think it's a better upgrade from the Switch 1, which is a little bit sturdier and it'll help him not to break things. I'll just put it that way. Then he can play his old games as well. And I know he wants the Donkey Kong game that's coming out, the Bonanza game. So that's where I am with it. Me, I am buying it because of that. Now, I'm not just gonna blindly just buy anything from Nintendo when I don't see it, worth the while. But to see my son's face light up, it's all worth it. But as far as everything else, I don't see myself buying, the Mario Kart game. I'm not that big on Mario Kart like that. Any other game that's pretty much anti-consumer or whatever the case may be. And I understand if people feel like they want Nintendo to drop the price on a lot of this stuff. Like the Mario Kart game, I don't think I'm not gonna say it's not worth the price. It's priced based on what you think. But for me, I don't think it's worth the price when it comes to what it entails. Maybe I don't know everything about the game. Maybe it is worth the $80 or $90 game. I just don't see it. So with that being said, I'm more of the like, yeah, whatever. I'm not buying it. I mean, I'll be okay with with Mario Kart 8. I haven't completed Mario Kart 8 and the booster packs where they have like all these other, tracks and everything just makes me want to play that game even longer anyway. Because I like to, complete the game if I'm going to play it. I'm not that big on Mario Kart to the point where I'm going to buy the Mario Kart World. It's just not for me. I looked at it, I thought it was cool, but it's just not my thing. Nevertheless, I also feel like any other game that's not being put on the cart, I just go ahead and buy the game digital. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about digital games. Me personally, I'm not that big of a fan of digital games, and I rarely buy them unless if I really, really have to. But when it comes to Nintendo, I'm not really into, let's say, I'm not really into Nintendo games like that where I'll just buy all digital products anyway. If I get Nintendo products, it's mostly like for my son when it comes to the Switch. And pretty much everything else prior to the Switch, everything was, for the most part, was physical. You had some games that are on the Wii U store, some that was on the Wii shop that were, just locked behind, being online. And I ended up buying those games before the stores went away. So, like I said, if that's the only way to get the games, I'll probably get it digital. But other than that, I don't see myself buying any games digital. As far as the Nintendo Switch 2, basically whatever my son wants, I'm probably going to end up buying it for him as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do. So I already know that like the Kirby game, the Donkey Kong game, and probably a Mario game that comes out, he's gonna want those three off top. That's what he likes. So but do I feel like the console needs to be a little bit lower? Well, I already said that the console should have been $399. I feel like the game should have been three. I mean, the console should have been $399, and I think it is like around that price in Japan. So they feel like it's worth that price, but coming over here with, I guess, with tariffs and all this other stuff going on, I guess they feel like they can raise the price on some of this stuff. But I don't understand why would you raise the price on digital products when that doesn't have nothing to do with tariffs. But at the end of the day, Nintendo is trying to find a way to make money, and it looks like that's what they're doing. And everybody else that's in the gaming community or in the the gaming companies side of things, they're going to follow suit. So that could be a really a bigger issue that we could talk about sometime down the road as far as the level and the price hike of games going forward because a lot of people say GTA is going to be the next game to be $100. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another game before that. At this point, you got to understand GTA. Did I say GTA 5? GTA 6. because GTA 6 is supposed to come out in 2026, and it may well come out in 2026. I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed again. But prior to that, I somebody's gonna try to push that envelope prior. That's my gut feeling. I believe that somebody's gonna try to push that envelope this holiday. Somebody's gonna try to do it, and you know how it goes. Are you going to stand on business? I don't think you are. Now, with everything I just said for the past 4 or 5 minutes, I don't believe that gamers will. You know, I just don't believe that they'll do that. You know, so I feel like gamers are just going to sit there and take it, and it is what it is. You know, that's just the way I feel at this point. And uh, people love Nintendo, gamers love Nintendo, and no matter what the price is, people are going to buy it. It's probably going to sell out like crazy. I'm not sure if we're going to see a situation where it's going to be. Uh, I don't think it's going to be a situation where we see something like the Wii U, for instance. The Wii U situation was basically a confused type of situation where people thought like the Wii U was the Wii, you know, and parents was just like, nah. But I don't think like I think the only people, and I'll say that speaking of parents, the only people I think that will stand on business and be like, nah, I'm not buying this is parents. You know, and I know that sounds crazy for me because I told my son I'm gonna buy him one, but I told him that, like I said, before all of this happened, and I can't go back on that at this point. You know, that'll sound crazy, but I believe that they're going to be parents that realize, like, wait a minute, this is a $449, $450 console, and their stuff could still be played on the original Switch. Well, we'll just wait till Christmas time. Or they'll be like, we're not buying this at all until there's a price drop. Or your Switch is just fine. You know, especially in the middle of the summer. I think this is like this may be not the best time to drop a console in June. But I mean, hey, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, they dropped the Switch 1 in March and it worked out pretty well, right? I mean, people had their taxes and all this other stuff. So that kind of helped. But um in June, most people don't have their taxes anymore. Most people don't invest or spend their tax money or whatever. They may not have it. So you're probably gonna have a lot of overgrown, I ain't gonna say overgrown, but grown men that love Nintendo. They're gonna be the ones that buy this. The people that are not gonna buy this are the parents who want their child to get it, and they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm not buying that right now. You know what I mean? But like I said, I told my son already, he's getting it, and it is what it is. He's gonna have fun playing the new Donkey Kong game. He can play his old Switch games or whatever. He's gonna have a blast. But as far as me being like that big time consumer, going to buy the camera, going to buy like the Pro controller, going to buy all this extra stuff with it, I'm not doing that. I have no reason to do that. I think the original Switch, or honestly the Switch Lite, you know, I think that'll work out for me personally. I don't see myself actually jumping and get a Switch 2 right now. Maybe once they drop the price or whatever, which at some point the console price will drop. It will at some point, maybe in 2026, 2027. You know, the console price will drop to where I thought it would be, which was $399. And I think that's where, you know, I will probably come in if I decide to. But other than that, man, I just don't. I don't see it. But that's just me. I don't see myself getting one right now. Maybe down the road, but I am buying one for my son. But overall, I don't think gamers are going to stand on business. I think they're going to sit here and take what Nintendo gives them, because a lot of these people who love Nintendo are people who grew up around my age in the 80s, and they love Nintendo. Nintendo can't do no wrong, and they gotta have that next Nintendo product, you know. So, but will they have a situation where they sell 13 million like the Wii U? I don't know. I don't think that. I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to be in that basket. I will be extremely surprised, but I don't think that this console will get up there where the original Switch was. The original Switch, they got it right with the original Switch, and it's kind of like that's how it goes most of the time, right? Like when a company gets it right for their one console, the following console just like falls apart, kind of. You know what I mean? Like even with I mean, outside of like what the PlayStation 1 was great, and they doubled back with the PlayStation 2 and did phenomenal. And you can kind of say the PlayStation 3 kind of fell off a little bit, and then he got back on their horse with the PlayStation 4. You know, kind of like with Xbox. Xbox did great with the 360, and they haven't recovered yet since the Xbox One. You know what I mean? So maybe this is a moment where Nintendo will be like, all right, you know, they're gonna have their Wii U moment for the second time. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, even with the N64 was kind of like a down moment after the great Super Nintendo, you know. So maybe it's always like that, where you have a great console, that you double back, and then you get a little bit too arrogant, and then you have to realize, hey, we did something wrong, and we have to get this right the next time. You know, I mean, just look at Sega. Sega did it with the Saturn and double back with the Dreamcast. Unfortunately, the Dreamcast just came out at the wrong time because the PS2 just knocked it out. But nevertheless, let me know what y'all think. Y'all think that people are going to stand on business? Nah, I don't think they're going to drop the price at first. And I think that gamers are just going to buy these games. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, what do you say? Nintendo, you know, they don't need to be doing this. You know, no, I don't think they need to. I think the price is a little bit too high, not only for the console, but even for the games. But at the end of the day, the only way that things will change if people don't buy the console. But no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think people will buy everything that Nintendo puts out, and they're going to love it. But that's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.